it's fine. All right, let's start this. Guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you watch this. So, today is a session where we will be looking at somebody who's struggled through CAT for 2 or 3 attempts, right? He was also working. We'll check whether he ever wanted to quit, give it all up, and then figure out. Uh, Try to solve cat on its own or prepare for cat on and after giving up his cat. We will be speaking with Shivdeep. He converted IIM Indore in 2017, but that is not what this is about. He basically gave cat 2019 as well. He's now converted IIM Lucknow. He's going to join IIM Lucknow. So, Shivdeep, how does it actually feel that, okay, you left Indore, then probably for last year, you probably did not do that well, or you did not give cat last year. Did you ever feel that I'm missing out on something? Like, an IIM Indore is a pretty big deal for most people.
Yeah, first of all, hello, sir, and hello from Mona Lisa as well to all your watchers. And yeah, so I did not take the CAT last year. I did take it in 2017, and I converted Indore, like you said. And I had to weigh. I also had an offer from Mastercard at the same time from my job placements. So I had to weigh in my options, and I talked to a few people in the colleges, and also a few people at Mastercard, and they told me that because the role is going to be an associate consultant, that kind of brand name and that kind of job title is going to be beneficial for me whenever I go into an MBA later on. And
Absolutely.
also I also wanted to have some work experience because that will make me understand things better. Though if I had a better college than Indore in 2017, I might have chosen otherwise.
Or if you did not have a job at that time, you probably would have.
Sure, yes.
That's pretty honest. Okay, so uh, did you feel missing out on anything because when you looked at your class, some of your classmates or some of your batchmates from school, etc., would probably have also joined an Indore or a Lucknow or another MBA college, and they would right now be placed or getting out, and they'll be throwing out their graduation certificates and posting stuff on Instagram. Did you ever feel that you were missing out on something?
Yes and no. Yes, when I look at their WhatsApp stories and kind of questionnaires they send me, and but when I was also doing the job, I realized a lot of things which I wouldn't have otherwise, and it also helped me understand what kind of verticals are there, and also my learning curve was very steep in my job, so that helped me a lot. It helped me declutter a lot of things in my mind, and I also learned a few things like how to talk, for example. Otherwise, I would have been hesitant even after MBA, and that doesn't suit an MBA.
Okay. So, last 2 years, what do you think you have learned, which will probably you'll take it to, and I mean, this is not an interview, but
Yeah.
what you would have, what have you learned from your job, which probably makes you a better person than if you had joined even an IIM Lucknow straight after college? What is it? What are the key things which you think? Two or three things which you have learned.
Yeah, one of the things would be how to be a part of a team that is, for example, in my case, global as well, and to meet expectations, to set expectations, and also how to manage different kinds of stakeholders. That is one. Second
Hmm.
is simply how to meet deadlines, which is very important. And
And how
third,
to stretch deadlines also when
yes,
sometimes anything
sure.
unexpected comes out. Yeah.
And
Okay.
also how to keep your word. For example, you might have to stay in on Fridays so as to deliver on something. So also a basic idea of how an organization works, because mine was a very pretty large organization. We would have communications from the leaders, and it's very fruitful if you subconsciously pick up on different kind of traits and then inculcate them in yourselves or make a mental note of them when you finally go for a degree or something like that. These are something that you would try to inculcate in yourself. So things like that
So
are very fruitful.
tell me something about your college life. What kind of student you were? Were you a student who was good in studies, or you were like one of those all-rounder students who basically is good at everything, that Rahul Dravid sort of thing? What sort of student were you, and how did your work change your
Yeah.
attitude towards education as such?
Sure. So I wasn't really an all-rounder of sorts. I am more of an introvert, so I stay indoors. So I am a bachelor's in chemical engineering from IIT BHU Varanasi, So my college has, at least my department has fairly lenient marking system. So almost everyone can get a 9 if they try. So I wouldn't try that much. So I have an 8.7, which
Hmm.
also looks good on paper because it converts to 87% in engineering, which is fair enough. Because I wouldn't go out, my positions of responsibility were very limited. So I was the joint secretary of the media club. I was the editor of the student magazines, things like that. So I like writing and also maybe probably talking to people, interviewing people, things like that. So that is where I also based my positions of responsibility towards. And what was the next question, Vivek?
I was basically asking you, how do you see a change in yourself because of the job, in your professional outlook because of the job that you do?
Yeah, so so a lot of what I mean, I got my job also because of the kind of things I'd done in college. So I also, in fact, have a Facebook page which is called Cows of Banaras, and it is a parody of Humans of New York, wherein I creatively interview cows and they have a commentary on whatever is happening in society and politics. So that was
Okay.
something that was very attractive to my recruiters as well, and also in my subsequent
I
MBA
mean,
placement.
is it like something related to politics? Because I think it might be shut down very soon.
Yeah, it is very subtly related to politics. I'm very subtle there, and I have no trolls as such reaching my inboxes and trying to harass me or so and
That's
things like
okay.
that.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
In my job, I because of such creative outlook, I was also probably for that reason I was given a team that was around campaign analytics, and I had a lot of campaign analysis experience, how a campaign is designed, how populations are selected, and how they are then finally analyzed whether or not a campaign was successful or not. So all of these things helped me in have a more understanding of how different kinds of say
So,
campaigns are run and
what
so on.
kind of work did you do when you were in Mastercard, right? So,
Yeah,
what
so
kind
I
of
was
work
in
did you do?
Mastercard Advisors. So it's called associate consultant, but it was more of a data analyst job. So I was in the campaign analytics team to begin with, and I did a selection and analysis of a few different marketing campaigns for the United States markets for smaller sized banks.
So you're using tools like SAS or Redshift or something like
Yeah, yeah, SAS, WPS, SQL, and so
that.
on,
Okay. Okay.
and also some internal tools to measure campaigns.
Okay. Okay. So once you get out of IIM Lucknow, what is your plan? I mean, like you want to go into marketing or finance or consulting? What is your
Yeah.
preferred?
So given my background, it sounds like it's very oriented towards marketing because I believe to have a creative background, despite being from engineering. And
I
so,
mean,
but
engineer is like getting a polio vaccination. Everyone is an engineer. I mean,
true, true, true.
I mean, there is no. I mean, like there is nothing.
The default discipline is
It's
engineering.
like the
Yeah,
cows of Banaras.
yeah,
Everyone is.
yeah,
It's
sure.
omnipresent. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah. So creativity. What will you look like? I mean, like, so you're inclined towards something related to marketing and
marketing.
stuff.
But again, because I've also had an associate consultant tag, I am also a little inclined towards consulting in general because I like problem solving and things like that. Also, I've heard that consultants have an easy exit strategy, maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, and
Go
then I
and
can
join a
shift to
VC
any.
or a PE.
Yeah, so I can then move out to something that probably I find out to be the final love of my life or something like that.
Okay, so that's pretty, I mean, that's your broad goal as such. Okay, so now I think your preparatory classes would have started, right? I mean, like for I am Lucknow, or I mean, you would have been given some assignments. I know
Yeah, yeah, some assignments.
I
Yeah.
am Indore has started giving assignments. The new IIMs have started. I mean, not started. New IIMs have like done some amount of preparatory classes. The old IIMs also have started loading their students already. So how does it feel? I mean, like since you already worked in a global organization which has teams across, you said in US and in India, and probably even in India, 2, 3 locations where people will be like, you know, am I audible, or like, can you switch on or can you repeat it again? So Zoom
Yeah.
will be like probably pretty. commonplace. I mean, may not be Zoom, you might be using WebEx, but yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be pretty commonplace for you, and you will be pretty at home while dealing with online sort of stuff. So, tell us about like how are the classes going right now?
As of now, we've been given some case studies and also some tasks from the seniors. The
Hmm.
final classes begin on 5th of August, so that is pretty close as well. There have been some classes for people who don't have a maths background, or some people who, I mean, some people like the ACFs within the new batch have also organized some sessions for the engineers. So things like that are have already begun up, and I think people have adjusted fairly well to this online scenario by in terms of all the different Telegram groups we see, and also a few other platforms that people have expanded into. In fact, we've already had jam
Slack.
sessions, online jam sessions within the new batch
Okay.
overnight. So things like that are already going on. As per my experience, most of that was audio, so it is still different because I'm not used to looking at the camera as such.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, does it like you miss out on some of the feel that, I mean, like when you go to the first day of college, you usually meet seniors or your roommate or your dorm mate or something like that. That feeling might not be available right now. Are your seniors stepping in and giving you some late night gyans or cigarettes
Yeah,
and
a lot
chai
of
or
people are
something like that?
sorry for us. A lot
Okay.
of people
Sorry
are
for you.
sorry for. Yeah, so, but we won't have the entire manifestation of that feeling as long as we step in and finally see what all we've missed out on. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it was between joining this year or taking another cat, and I just didn't want to go through the entire training process all over again.
Okay, let's come to your cat sort of thing. Okay, so you were pretty decent in verbal, you were pretty decent in maths, LRDI or something which you wanted extra help for. So, oh, what were the mistakes which you made last time in cat versus what you did this time, which was different, which probably helped you across the three sections? If you can briefly tell us, like, let's start with verbal. What were the things which you improved on versus your previous attempt in cat?
In terms of verbal, because I had a clear idea of how things are going to be, I had made some strategies which would be just step-ons on my initial preparation. In terms of verbal, I realized that I should start reading articles from, say, the Washington Post or Aeon essays, from where the actual RCs are derived.
Yeah, I
So
think
that is
Aeon
something.
has probably never got more hits when
Yeah,
because of that. I mean, it's a non-profit sort of a blog, and now it's like
yeah.
all over the place. I mean, all cat aspirants are probably reading from Aeon
Sure.
articles.
Also, another thing that I did was I realized that because I waste a lot of time on the internet, how about going through crash courses or random videos on YouTube, which would be helpful in setting some context for some of the RCs. For example, watching the World Wars or the Civil Wars or things like that. Because I realized a lot of RCs have their basic setups around those times or something that is derived from there. So if I know that Abraham Lincoln fought for the North versus the South and got slavery abolished, and something is derived related to black music culture, it will have references to that place. And instead of me being a complete noob in that category, if I have some sort of a background, it will be much easier for me to walk through the entire thing. So that is something I did.
So, I mean, obviously for English, the idea is read, and read again. But what exactly did you read? I mean, can you, besides Washington Post and Aeon, what are the things which you
So
usually, I mean, did you have like a schedule? Did you have like a,
no, no, my entire preparation was quite haphazard. So I just decided to read anything I could get my hands on, any news article, etc. And I also tried to memorize what I had just read, just to recall what our points are being made, or what is the entire flow of the passage, so that I could probably judge what might come next, or I could just go back and introspect to what the pattern has been.
and you did
So
not focus on grammar or sentence correction because you were not taking any other exam besides the CAT, right?
yeah, that is true. And also, I had decided that I will focus more on only the 24 RC questions and nothing else, because those are the major chunks. And if I can have my accuracy in those questions, I can probably do way better than I would otherwise if I focus on other sections of the verbal part.
Okay. Okay, let's go to LRDI. I mean, like you said like you had not done really well in LRDI the previous time, but this time around you were able to do it. What was your strategy for LRDI this time around?
I was terrible in LRDI. That was my mistake the first time. Luckily, the exam was so hard in 2017 that I managed to get four questions as Tukkas right, and that helped me at least get 90 plus in the section. And I literally my computer screen had gone off. There was a problem in my center during LRDI, and I didn't mind because I wasn't going anywhere anyway. So I thought maybe if I have to give the entire exam all over again, that will be a better strategy for me. Luckily, the network then came back, and I was forced to take the same exam.
Okay.
So I had decided that LRDI is one place where I have to now focus really hard on. So I was also looking for and all the existing coaching materials. So I'm a person who likes to go through videos and probably pause them and solve them and then go through the solution. And that is my style of learning. And also, in fact, when I do some practice questions as well, I just open, say, playlists on YouTube if I can find them and things like that, and I can solve a lot of questions. So that is my style of learning. So I was looking for something like that, and I came across your platform and the things you do, and it was very fruitful for me because I wanted to learn it from the very scratch. I was very bad in LRDI, and I have even had negative scores in my mocks in 2017 and also into early 2019. And despite data interpretation being a huge part of the entire section, I would still get very bad marks. So my preparation strategy was literally going back to the drawing board. I had bought a whiteboard, and I would solve things there. It would take me 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I would pan the whole thing out and try to make sense of it. And slowly but surely, I was eventually getting a knack of how the questions are created and how they can be solved. How to pick up things the moment I read something, and I don't need to write that statement down and try to think what is happening. I would know it early on as well. So all of these things helped me greatly in understanding LR and DI. And also because LR and DI is now being married together, I cannot find my refuge in DI only because I have to know LR now.
Probably get one question which is purely LR, one question which
Yeah,
is purely DI. I mean, everything else is just mixed all over. I mean,
sure,
Venn
sure.
diagrams might be there, but
True.
everything is usually mixed. All right, that's good. Let's go to the quant part. I mean, engineer that too from I mean ITBHU, one of the top 20 colleges in the country, if not in the top 10. But I mean, everyone expects you to be good in maths, right?
Yeah, so everyone expects me to be good in maths, but I didn't have that much of a speed, so to say. So despite me scoring about 70 marks in quant in 2017, my percentile was 98, and I know a friend who had 102 and things like that. So I realized there's a lot to cover here as well, and I need to build on my speed as well as also on my accuracy because silly mistakes continue to be silly throughout the preparation if we don't go back to them and revise them and see what went wrong. So also in the entire thing, I had bought the CrackU package because their app was very
Yeah.
conductive to my kind of preparation. I didn't have too much of a attention span. I also had to be working all the time, and they have these 15-minute tests, 5 questions, and I can instantly go to the solutions. Even though their mocks were a bit too hard and a bit too unrealistic as well, I didn't
But
take
this
any mocks.
15-minute burst probably helped you.
Yeah, and also I can probably just book a room in my office and go solve an RC question and come back, and nobody would know what happened. Things like that. Yeah.
All right, that is nice. Okay, so all throughout this, you would be looking at different sources of, you know, information where you could get information about, I mean, colleges, uh, placements, I mean, research about what to do in your career, or was your job too hectic for you to even do anything like that? Did you rely on
Um,
anything like Quora, Pagal Guy, all those things?
Yeah, I had done the entire thing in 2017, so I had things at the back of my mind. A
Okay.
person is pretty free in college, so I had one of the things that I had realized when I began my 2019 preparation that this particular part of all this extra research is a lot of waste of time. I mean, it will start help. I mean, I'll start creating mental castles or things like that, and I'm there, and now I'm there, and things like that.
Are you writing anything on Quora about your struggles? Like, you know, how a boy from Banaras and from interviewing cows to,
Not yet, but it's a good idea. I
it's
can.
probably like, yeah, I mean, like Quora is very popular for those type of posts, right? Inspiration is probably coming out in every single part. Anything which you found, which is like through this preparation, which you found was, okay, let's go to section by section. Things which you found, which you thought will be really, really difficult or you're really scared about, but actually did not work out that way. So let's start with your verbal. Anything which you were scared about, you thought like will happen, the worst which will happen, but actually did not happen after.
So I thought that because I was focusing a lot on RCs, initially they would take the entirety of my time and I couldn't go to the other sections at all. And that was my initial strategy as well because I wanted to be so sure of doing well in RCs. But eventually, that efficiency and timing improved. So I was able to find time for the rest of my sections as well, and I also was also able to solve them because if we start comprehending RCs, we can also do well in other questions like say sentence correction or what is the something of a critical reasoning periphery. So things like that can be done as well.
Okay. And the other end, something which you did not expect but happened.
I was expecting the sentence arrangement questions to be pretty easy, but because there were no options, I would inadvertently get them wrong. So eventually, I decided to put them at the bottom of my priority.
Okay. What about LRDI? What happened there? I mean, like anything which you always feared but actually did not.
I always feared games and tournaments because I even towards the end of things, towards the complex questions, I would never understand them. It would get too complicated even for my whiteboard, and because I need to write so many things in a small box and things like that. But eventually, I realized that they don't really show up in the exams, the very complicated questions. So I could afford to, or even if they come, I know not to choose them. That was one another important thing that I learned from what all you had taught, the art of leaving.
What about the other side? Something which you did not expect but ended up in CAT.
Venn diagrams was something I didn't think too highly of, but eventually through practice and also through different mocks, I realized that this is one of the most scoring areas of CAT, and these
Yeah.
can be easily mastered with. And there are a few possibilities of say maxima questions, minimum questions within that as well. And I realized that this isn't as harmless as it seems to be, and I need to focus here because a lot of scoring questions come from this particular section.
Last, maths. What were the unexpected questions which turned up, and what was the thing which you expected but did not come up?
I didn't expect. I had an engineering background, right? So I didn't expect the probability questions to. I didn't expect me to go back to JE notes for probability, and I realized how fruitful that turned out to be because I eventually was able to solve things much more quickly, and I could have a very bird's eye view because the probability material on the internet which I could find, at least in terms of videos, wasn't as conclusive or wasn't as fruitful. So I didn't expect me to go back to the JE notes. And also in binomial theorem, for example. So there are different ways to solve the question. So binomial theorem also came back to my refuge, even though I don't recommend anyone go through them all over again because just because I had a knowledge of them while preparing through my JE days, I always felt something was missing in my current preparation that gave me the confidence I had before. So I thought, yeah, I need to go back. Another thing that I found very overrated was, say, remainder questions and things like that. I'd prepared a lot for number systems. In fact, my only theory part in quant was number systems. I had created the whole thing, and I would even in 2017 sit on the last bench and go through them over and over again, over and over again, and eventually the 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 outcome wasn't as proportional to the effort I had put in.
Does not come up in CAT.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to your interview stage. What happened during your interview? How did you prepare for the interview? What were your like key things which you thought like? What are the key things that you focused on in your interview? What were your interviews like?
Yeah. So what I realized was the interview is mostly about knowing yourself than anything else. A lot of people keep on learning things here and there, and they forget the most important part about knowing themselves. The points they think that are on their resume, for example, the place where they come from, the education they have done, and things revolving around those major points in our life. So that was something I realized in 2017 as well, where I had a terrible interview. Uh, yeah. So I decided to change things up a little bit. But again, things went haywire in 2019 as well because both my interviews, Indore and Lucknow, were purely core chemical engineering, and I had left it for 2 years. So it was terrible.
Okay. Uh, any interesting snippets from interview? Like any interesting questions that you got from your
Sure, sure.
interview, or it was like pure like formal sort of
Yeah, for example, for Indore, the moment I came in, they said you're working at Mastercard and you're a chemical engineer, and I said yes. So then he says that so I've planned that I won't ask you a single question from your company, and we're going to ask you purely chemical engineering. And then
a...
they asked me to draw some graphs that I'd done way back in college. Even for Lucknow, they just opened my mark sheets and they saw Maths 101C why. Uh, and I was like, then I had to manufacture an answer that I hadn't started getting serious till later in college. And then they opened the next mark sheet, Maths 102C. And they said, it seems like you still haven't gotten serious here. And then I said that after first year I got serious. And then they asked me where Maths 103 was. They wanted to see the grades there as well. Unfortunately, we don't have Maths 103 in chemical engineering. And then he asked where the statistics was, and I said we don't have that either. And he was a little disappointed, and he kept flipping through my answer sheets till he found numerical techniques in chemical engineering and saw a C there, and he said, "You don't know maths."
That's pretty funny. Okay, throughout your preparation, this is something which we ask for all people who are working.
Hmm.
Throughout your preparation, was there any time when you said like either I will chuck cat, I will concentrate on my job, I have a reasonably paying job, I will probably get out of India, write GMAT or GRE and get out of India, or the other way around, let me chuck my job, I'll put all my efforts into cat preparation and
Yeah,
see how
so
it goes.
yeah, I never thought about checking my job and giving the cat, focusing on the cat altogether because I don't think that's a wise strategy, especially given the economic climate we are in as well. And also because I had also seen a lot of videos on this entire thing, is it wise to leave the job altogether and focus on cat? And one of the very interesting insights I got from there was a lot of people do it. A lot of people have jobs and they end up scoring really high percentile and getting into colleges. So if I want to be one of them, I have to behave in the same way. I cannot chicken out of subsequent parallel responsibilities because even freshers have it and people who work have it as well. So if I have to have the similar result, I have to go through the similar process as well. So that was one thing that in fact motivated me more to manage my time better and focus on two things at the same time. To your second question, whether or not I want to continue with my job. So at times we already know if we feel out of place in a job. So in that case, it's always at the back of our mind that that is something I want to do eventually. So even though the learning was great, I was taking it qualitatively, and I wasn't say engrossing myself too much into pursuing the same career. So I was preparing alternately for my MBA because that was my eventual goal. So I think both of things played together pretty well.
What about your managers, etc.? So did they know about that you're preparing for CAT? Did you discuss with them? And when you resigned, what did they actually say?
Yeah, fortunately, I've had very good managers, and so one of my earlier managers also kept on. I mean, we also have these timely development discussions, career development discussions, and we can be very candid in them, and we can trust our managers to not let things out to a higher level and things like that. So we would have candid discussions even within the batch that I joined. We could have candid discussions with our friends, and that also helped. And also, despite my workload not getting any easier because of that, in fact, I had to work extra hard because of some of the resource constraints that were going on at that time of CAT in my organization. I think I had the support of my manager. If I had asked them that I would probably be working from home, or I might take the day off, or this particular final week off. So I had my had my support to that respect. In terms of resignation as well, I think the culture at my organization is pretty good. People are they like it when people attrite only because of higher education and not because of the other reason. They kind of take
Yeah,
pride in that.
going
That
from
people,
Mastercard to Visa or someplace like that, or a fintech company.
yeah, so that isn't very appreciated. But if you go for a higher education, they like it a lot. They like to say that the our attrition rate is this, and that is solely also because of people going for higher education. So that kind of culture and support system that I had professionally as well helped me a lot.
And you can always return back. Mastercard will probably have a lot of managerial positions as well. Like they do.
Sure.
In fact, I think the CEO of Mastercard is a former IIM Calcutta.
I'm A, I guess, Ajay Banga. Yeah.
IMA, yeah, Ajay Banga, yeah,
Yeah.
one of those, yeah, alumni. Right. So, okay, and a couple of additional questions which are there. So, any distractions which you had during this time? Uh, Outings with friends, girlfriends, etc. And how
I'm
did
a
you
very,
manage that?
very reserved person, so I don't go out a lot, but I have my phone with me all the time. So I am almost entirely on Facebook, uh, 16, 17 hours a day, Facebook and YouTube. So these are huge distractions. So I had then joined a few Facebook groups as well, so that I keep on encountering questions that people ask in different groups, and also some kind of comments people make regarding their preparation, so that at least any of them can have an impact on me, and I can leave that phone and go back to my whiteboard and start studying, things like that.
Okay.
Even on YouTube, I decided to follow a lot of channels, even if I'm watching something else. Fortunately, YouTube algorithm is such that in at least in the second or third recommendation, there would be something regarding cat then, and I would then end up watching that video and maybe going back to my drawing board. So
Okay.
things like that were always there.
And
And also,
how did you de-stress during this time? Like you cannot be preparing all the time, right? You had work, which will probably be about 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours a day,
mm,
right? And you will also have, even if you study for another 2 to 3 hours, like on weekends, any social outings or anything to de-stress yourself besides cat, YouTube, online stuff.
yeah, I used to go out with my friends a lot on weekends. That is a must in corporate in a way. And also in my office, there used to be a lot of recreational things that I could do within my office spirit. Things like say table tennis and so on. So I had my plans that way. Right. I also used to listen to music a lot. So there were different ways to de-stress, but at times I would stress a lot as well. Have those phases of constant stress, and I would need to talk to a friend. I in fact have a psychologist friend who has rescued me way too many times for my liking, and
So
and
can you elaborate on that?
yeah, so at times it seems like everything is meaningless, for example, or things aren't coming out as they're supposed to be. You end up encountering one hard set or a hard LRDI set, or maybe five hard LIDI sets in a row, and it breaks your confidence all over again. And then one is down in the dumps, and they need to find a way out again. And I would probably talk to a friend of mine who's a psychologist, and she's studying psychology. She's just graduated into a mainstream psychology, and she would talk me out of it and help
Nice,
me
nice.
build my confidence. I would also reach out to you. I understand that we've had a few mentor-mentee sessions, and wherein you had motivated me a lot, also regarding how to manage my job and keep on learning there as well, along with my CAT preparation. So it is very important to for someone who has a bird's eye view of things to help us through that situation, and we should always develop that kind of circle, or at least have people to reach out to.
Okay, I think we will end this session here. Would you like to mention your Instagram handle or your Facebook page, which people, if they are interested, what's it called? Cows of Banaras.
Cows of Banaras with Benares, Banaras.
Okay. We will, when we release this video, we will link it in our YouTube description as well. We'll post it on our uh, Facebook group also. Uh, Shivdeep, thank you very much for joining in. I think uh, you're destined for better places after you go. Once the coronavirus basically gets over. Thank you very much for taking time. I hope I wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. Thank you very much for joining in. Guys, if you like this, please do share it with your friends. Please do like and follow Shivdeep's Facebook page as well, Instagram. The links will be available in the description of this video. Till we meet again the next time, goodbye and all the best.
Thank you. Bye bye.